Why did the slot machine go to therapy? Because it had a fruit problem. Welcome to another exciting episode where we debunk the mysteries of Vegas slot machines. Kicking things off with myth number 20, slot machines are due for a big win. Now, this is a classic, an old wives' tale that has been passed down from gambler to gambler, and it's as persistent as that pesky fruit fly in your kitchen. But here's the truth. Slot machines aren't ticking time bombs waiting to explode with a jackpot. They don't keep track of how many times they've been spun without a win. Each spin is entirely independent of the last and the next and the one after that. And how do we know this? Well, it's all thanks to something called a random number generator, or RNG for short. This little piece of tech magic ensures that every spin of the reels is a unique event, free from the influence of past or future spins. So if you're hanging around a slot machine thinking it's about to cough up a jackpot because it hasn't in a while, you might want to reconsider that strategy. Moving on to myth number 19. Casinos can tighten machines at will. This one is a favorite among conspiracy theorists, but it's about as accurate as predicting the weather with a groundhog. Casinos can't just flick a switch and make a machine less likely to pay out. Slot machines are regulated and audited for fairness. The odds are set when the machine is manufactured and can't be changed on a whim by the casino. So folks, remember, a slot machine doesn't have a schedule, and your chances of hitting a jackpot are as random as my uncle's dance moves at a family gathering. Stick around for our next segment, where we'll dive into more myths and misconceptions about Vegas slot machines. Ever heard the one about the hot and cold slot machines? No, it's not a new ice and fire themed game, but a couple of myths that need busting. So let's dive into the world of slot machine myths and legends, specifically myths number 18 and 17, the hot and cold machines, and the location of a slot machine matters. Now you might be wondering, what in the world does temperature have to do with slot machines? Well, some folks believe that machines run hot or cold, meaning they're either on a winning streak or they're due for a payout. But let me tell you, if slot machines had a weather forecast, it would be a constant random. Yes, you heard it right. Slot machines are governed by random number generators. These sophisticated pieces of software ensure that each spin is independent and unrelated to the previous or next spin. So, the idea of a machine being hot or cold is as accurate as predicting next week's lottery numbers based on last week's weather. Moving on to myth 17, the belief that the location of a slot machine in a casino can affect your chances of winning. Some people think that machines near the entrance, or those hidden away in the corner, have better odds. But in reality, the location of a machine has as much impact on your winning odds as your lucky socks. Every slot machine, whether it's front and center or tucked away in the corner, operates on the same principle of randomness. They're all regulated by a random number generator, ensuring fair play. The casino can't just flip a switch and make a machine pay out more or less. It's all about luck, timing, and well, more luck. So the next time someone tells you to play on a hot machine, remember, it's not a spicy taco, it's a slot machine. What's a casino without a few conspiracy theories, right? Let's dive into some of the most popular ones. First up, we have the theory that casinos pump oxygen to keep players awake. Sounds like a plot straight out of a Hollywood movie, doesn't it? Well, it's a myth. The idea of pumping oxygen into a casino to give players a boost is not only illegal but also highly dangerous. Oxygen is a fire accelerant, which means it would turn a small spark into a full-blown fire in no time. Casinos are not willing to take such a risk. Instead, they keep the environment comfortable and lively with well-regulated temperatures and upbeat music. Now let's move on to the next conspiracy theory. Some people believe that casinos manipulate machines to give less payout during peak hours. This theory suggests that casinos control the slot machines to pay out less when they're busiest. But hold up, let's think about this. It's true that casinos are businesses aiming to make a profit, but they are also heavily regulated. Gaming commissions enforce strict rules about the randomness of slot machines. It would be illegal for casinos to alter the payout ratios without approval. Plus, it's simply not practical. There are thousands of slot machines in a casino. Can you imagine the effort it would take to change each machine's settings and then change them back? In reality, every spin on a slot machine is random, and the outcome is determined by a computer program known as a random number generator. It doesn't matter what time of day it is or how busy the casino is, your chances of winning remain the same. So, no, casinos aren't using special tricks to keep you playing. The only thing they might be pumping is the volume on the latest hit song. Scene script. Ever thought you could control a slot machine with your superpowers? Well, you might want to sit down for this one. Let's dive into two more Vegas slot machine myths that revolve around you, the player. Myth 14 suggests that using a player's card reduces your chances of winning. Now this is as far from the truth as saying that Elvis Presley is secretly living in a Vegas penthouse. The player's card doesn't have any magical properties that can influence the slot machine's outcomes. Its sole purpose is to track your play and reward you with perks like free meals, hotel stays, or even cash back. The slot machine doesn't know if you're using a player's card or not, so it certainly can't rig the results against you. Moving on to myth 13, which states that pulling the lever gives better odds than pushing the button. This one is as old as the hills, and equally as false. Whether you decide to unleash your inner one-armed bandit and yank that lever or simply push the button, it has zero impact on the outcome. The slot machine doesn't play favorites. It doesn't care if you're a lever lover or a button basher. The random number generator inside the machine is the only thing determining your fate, and it's as impartial as a coin toss. Both these myths are based on the idea that you, as a player, can somehow influence the machine's outcome. But let's be real. If you could control a slot machine with your superpowers, wouldn't you be living it up in a mansion instead of watching this video? Slot machines are designed to be random and unpredictable. They don't have feelings, they don't have biases, and they certainly don't have vendettas against players' cards or buttons. So, it turns out you don't have telekinetic powers over slot machines, but hey, you can still enjoy the thrill of the spin. We're down to the grand finale, the myths that have stood the test of time. Are you ready? First up, myth 12. Casinos always win. This one has been around for ages and it's not entirely baseless. Yes, casinos are in business to make money. However, the idea that they always win is a bit of a stretch. Here's the thing. Casinos operate on something called the house edge. This is a statistical advantage that ensures they'll turn a profit over the long run. But in the short term, anything can happen. A lucky spin, a fortunate deal, and voila, you're walking away with a hefty sum. So yes, while the house has an edge, it doesn't always win. Next we move on to myth 11. You can predict slot outcomes with strategies. Now this one is a real doozy. People love the idea of finding patterns, cracking codes, and predicting outcomes. It gives us a sense of control. But here's a reality check. Slot machines are based on pure randomness. Each spin is governed by a random number generator, or RNG for short. The outcome of your previous spin has zero influence on your next spin. Zero, zilch, nada. No matter how many times you pull that lever or push that button, you can't predict what will happen next. It's all up to chance. So, what does this mean? Well, it means that strategies claiming to predict slot outcomes are about as useful as a chocolate teapot. They might sound tempting, but they won't hold water when it comes to actually winning at slots. In conclusion, it's important to remember that playing slots should be about having fun, not trying to beat the system with unfounded myths and strategies. After all, the unpredictability, the thrill of the unknown, that's what makes it exciting. So there you have it, folks. The house doesn't always win, and slot machines don't have a crystal ball, but they do have a whole lot of fun waiting for you.